Welcome back to the XCS Custom Shop here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm here with Eric. Say hi, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
We've got a board. It was born here, but it's going to a far-flung place.
Mystical land.
A mystical land, Deutschland, if you will. So this here is our new friend, Janik's board. Say hi, Janik. Very good, unprompted. He knew the shtick. Very good.
He rolled with it.
So, Eric, would you do us a kindness and walk us through this lovely two-tiered hinged board? Absolutely chock-a-block.
It's
here.
full.
It's very full, with all the good stuff, as they say.
It's a pedal board here. It goes in this case.
Oh, yes. Let's show them the case. So Eric custom foamed this Pelican.
This is 1615.
Designed to survive the trip home.
This is specifically made to fit in there with the riser and everything. And it's pretty tight, yeah. Interface here does a lot of things. In, out. There's an effects loop, right out, and a 9-volt through. And so there's an ISO transformer for the right side, and there's also one in here for the preamp because half of the H90 is in the RJM here.
Yes, and so for folks who don't know, if you have any connection between the preamp and the post-preamp, or pre-preamp or post-preamp, you could be predispositioned to
predominantly
hum
have problems.
So basically, even we don't know for sure. There are things that make us suspect that there may be an issue, but sometimes you just don't know until you get it all together whether or not a particular loop or amp is going to have an issue. This one needed a little more isolation to keep those ground paths straight and to make sure the noise floor was as low as it possibly could be.
Yeah.
But it's slamming now.
Yeah, it's very quiet.
So walk us through these effects here, Eric.
We got into RJM PVC 6 here, and what we got here loop wise, we've got an EQ, we've got a tube screamer, we've got Cali down here, we've got chorus. Ooh, these sound fine. And Janik did this mod himself.
How about that?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And loop 5 is an ODR. I like the gold ones. I think they are fine. I think this is a nice knob here for the bass.
How can you say like and then you say a word like fine? I really love the gold ones. They're fine.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry that I like my wife and I think she's fine. Whoops.
There you go. There you go.
Loop 6, H90, the first half, inputs 1 and 2. Input 1, output 1. 2 is not involved because it's a mono signal. Then, second page here, Janray, Soldano.
And 2, there was an interesting thing. We actually talked about as a group, these pedals do not come up in the on state, and we kind of put them underneath in our initial layout, but then realized, why don't we just put these up top? You can avoid modifying these or doing something with them, and you won't have to lift the thing up to make sure that everything is in the right state.
Yeah.
So that was.
I put them beside each other too, so one stomp efficient, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, very efficient.
Then out of those, really, here to the front of the amp, come back in, right here, loop effects time. Volume pedal, what is it, Brig, second half of the H90, and the Flint, and that stuff's stereo. And we return back out of here. So you get all that good stuff.
With another ISO transformer.
Yes. Which is cool because you can put something in here, on here, and these loops are orderable, so you could put some kind of auto wah thing in here, move it up to loop 1 or wherever in the signal you want, and you could still have a crazy delay, stereo delay thing here afterwards. So you can do all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
A little foot switch here that we made. So there's a tap here. So that'll tap this here and then MIDI stuff. So you can tap H90, the Brig, or the Flint. And then there's a bank up here, which just does our banks on here.
Why don't you walk through kind of the setup that you guys came up with for the PVC?
Yeah, well, Janik programmed most of this. He had a pretty good idea of what he wanted. So he's got these all set up in the dual preset mode, which I think is pretty rad. And then we've got a loops page here, a second loops page. The inserts are over here. And we made some Y cables in case he wants to goof around and have some fun with those. Then there is a page for the H90. And we set it up to do just the first 4 presets there. But then we also set these up here to do, so if you want more than those, he can go find them. And I thought this was kind of tricky. We set these up as a hold feature to either turn this thing on or off here too. I thought that was
nice.
kind of slick. Then we've got page for the Brig. So that's the same kind of thing, the first 6 presets.
So as you build a preset, you'll come to this page and pick which one of the 6 that you want for that preset, right?
Essentially. We didn't want to mess with CCs for the Brig or whatever, so this preset here is just saved with the mix knob at 0 and the pedal in the off state. So if you want a preset with no Brig, you can go there. And then the Flint, we set it up the same way too, so that's just nothing preset.
Cool.
So it's pretty slick in that if you want to build a preset, you go here, you pick whatever loops you want. You go to the H90, maybe I want that preset. You go to the Brig, I want that one. You go to the Flint, I want that one. And then you just hold this down and it's going to remember your preset.
Yeah, very cool.
So once you get your sounds programmed into these, it's pretty easy to get you going.
And despite the fact that these things have hundreds of presets,
these have 300 apiece.
Yeah, most everybody only
How do you have
uses
300
a
delay
handful.
sounds?
Yeah. So I really like that method because most people aren't going to touch more than 6 for the average setup.
Yeah, unless you got really specific song stuff.
Yeah, if you were going to have 1 per song in the set, you could totally use more than that.
Which you could do, and I'm sure there's people like that out there. There's a Voodoo Lab PP3 in here, and then also a little X4. Wanted a couple 18-volt things here for some stuff. And there's a conduit here for our MIDI stuff.
And then that MIDI through on there is going...
A little box out here.
Over here.
For fun, frivolity.
Yep. For a future expansion.
Yeah.
Killer board. I dig it, Eric.
Yeah, this thing is very rad.
Yeah. This is a good one. We were telling Janik,
we hate most of the boards we make.
But there are ones that we like more than others. They're all nice. They're all well done.
I know they are all cool.
Yeah.
Really.
If Janik forgot this one before he got it on the plane and left it behind, I would not mind.
Yeah.
So
I think we would mind.
A good setup for sure.
Yeah.
And so great job, Eric. If you guys need something like this or something completely different, give us a call. We'll talk to you then. Later.